Here at Queen Mary's High School in Walsall, Sue Simpkiss is the school business manager. Less than a year into the position, she has an annual budget of £4 million to spend on the school, but wants to make this money go further. She thinks collaborative purchasing could help her do this, and is revisiting all the school's suppliers, reviewing contracts and deals to see where she can save money.
In terms of spending our money in the best possible way, I think we don't do a bad job, but I think there are always ways that we can improve. One of the things that I'm particularly interested in is collaborative purchasing to provide not only cost savings if possible, but also efficiency savings in terms of the time it takes staff to actually go through the whole purchasing process.
Collaborative purchasing is simply a way of schools using this purchasing power to get the best deals they can. It's simple to do and can save schools thousands of pounds if they use the leverage from buying in groups or use a contract let on behalf of a number of schools. We've brought Sue to Hayden Lee Primary School in Swindon, a school which exploits this purchasing power to its full potential. The bursar here is Sue Heath. We've asked Sue to bring along a shopping list, and here it is. As a starter, Sue's wanting better prices on IT equipment, printer supplies, a washroom contract, exam desks, paper and stationery. We're going to see what the collaborative purchasing route can do for Sue, to see if she can save money on this shopping list. Hayden Lee is a school of 360 pupils with an annual budget of £1 million. Sue has been the bursar here for 9 years and during her time has developed a number of strategies for increasing her buying power.
So if you come along this way, we'll just look into one of the classrooms and I'll be able to show you some of the things in there that we've been buying.
There are different ways of collaborative purchasing. Sue uses a couple. The first, and one that schools use more commonly, is to buy through consortia such as YPO, ESPO or KCS, Kent County Supplies.
So we do buy some of our items from purchasing organisations, particularly consumables, but I can understand you can buy pretty much anything that you want.
Oh, definitely, that's exactly what I've found. You know, the vast array, almost whatever we need within the school, I've been able to obtain through these type of buying consortiums.
These buying organisations buy in bulk for thousands of schools, purchasing anything from pencils to energy supplies. And they offer a list of other benefits, as Claire Dix, procurement expert for the DCSF, explains.
These consortia specialise in educational products, so they've hunted out the best deals already. So buying from the range of the consortia that are out there will not only save time, but will also save money. And because of the volumes that these consortia order, they can drive down the prices from these suppliers so that the schools can then take advantage of the reduced prices. They're normally local authority owned, not-for-profit organisations, and so any savings made here can be passed on to the school.
Back at Hayden Lee, Sue Heath has arranged for Sue Simpkiss to talk to a representative from one of the consortia she buys from, Julie Collins from the Yorkshire Purchasing Organisation.
So Julie, what is it that YPO can actually do for our school?
Well, basically anything and everything. YPO is a public sector buying organisation, 100% owned by the taxpayer. So although we aim to make a profit, whatever we make in profit terms goes back to the public purse. Our turnover as an organisation is £400 million. So obviously, in comparison to what you spend on your type of product, then we take all of that demand and aggregate it and therefore buy better.
If I had contacted you and you didn't necessarily cover my area and something I was looking for, would you then actually be able to advise me who to contact?
Absolutely.
Because I would say sometimes that's the biggest problem I find, Sue, is like you can spend a lot of time just trying to find out who to contact.
Yes, we would definitely do that for you, Sue. We work with our colleagues quite extensively, and if we couldn't meet your need, then we would organise for you to get in touch with whoever that could meet your need.
So if we were to put more of our business your way, how much do you think that you can actually save us as a benchmark over a 12-month period, let's just say?
If we take utilities, there will be something like a 20% differential in pricing. If you take janitorial provision, we can offer savings. They're probably around 5 to 10%. If we look at curriculum product, then we are anything from 10% to 40% cheaper.
Could you set up your internet system that different members of staff could actually log in? Because I'd be very interested in that, thinking obviously that it would make it much easier for me if my teachers could log in.
Yes, definitely. Every member of staff can have their own, email controlled way into the system, and they can order, but actually nothing will come through to us until somebody's authorised it.
I was going to say that was my next concern, that obviously then being able to control, the amount they're actually ordering.
All of that can be set up in the system, and we can come in and do that for you.
Hayden Lee in Swindon is in the catchment area for both the YPO and the Kent County Supplies. Sue uses them both, cherry-picking deals, but not all buying consortia cover all areas. Here's Claire Dix with more.
To find out which consortia you can buy from, you should contact your local authority to find out who is available in your area, and then that way you can start benefiting from those savings straight away.
It's really easy to buy from YPO, and it's really easy to set up an account. So if somebody new wants to buy from us, then they just either ring in or go via the website, and an account will be set up.
So, back to Sue's shopping list. Julie's had a look at Sue's washroom contract, and after renegotiating with the same contractor, has managed a 38% saving. She's also managed a 42% saving on some stationery supplies. But compliant consortia like YPO are not the only way to buy collaboratively. When Hayden Lee recently developed an area of scrubland into allotments for the children, it realised it needed a shed in which to house all the gardening equipment. Sue could have hunted out suppliers, drawn up her shed specifications, then rung or emailed various companies to get enough quotes to show the required financial management standard in schools. In all, probably half a day's work. Instead, she used an online collaborative purchasing platform that did the work for her.
These systems can lead to good deals because the process itself is the request for quote process, which allows the school to benchmark, and as long as that's happening, the school is able to follow its own contract regulations. Any electronic system can lead to time savings purely because the process is streamlined, but please ensure that that system has been procured compliantly.
One such site is run by Hugh Taylor. His company allows you to post a request for goods online, with no obligation to buy. Specially selected suppliers can then bid for that quote, responding with their best deal.
And it's a very simple way for you to go on and request quotations from competing suppliers. And then there's an audit trail so that at the end of it you can actually evidence that you've been achieving the best practice that you need to for financial management standard in schools.
From what you were saying to me as well, Sue, people very often go on to just find out what other school business managers are doing as well.
A lot of the benefit that schools get from the service is being able to collaborate with other schools, and that can be as simple as just seeing what they're buying as well as who they're buying it from. And because schools will rate and feedback on suppliers, you can see how good each of the suppliers are. And also, very importantly, is what they're paying.
If a school likes a quote another school has received on the site, it can contact the supplier anonymously and piggyback that same deal.
One of the things I really like about the site is that you can stay anonymous. I find that's really good. And in the past, especially when we were looking at different things like the PATS testing, we had companies that were quoting that were already possibly supplying us as well. And it was really interesting to see how the prices compared then.
There's a third method of buying on Hugh's site known as Storm, mass purchasing events.
We recently did some mass buying events for laptops and PCs, which we opened up to schools across the whole country. And whereas some of those schools might only been looking for 2 or 3 machines, they were getting an 11% discount on average from the suppliers, which they couldn't have hoped to achieve on their own.
Your local authority may use an e-tendering tool which provides a similar service, so please check with your local authority procurement team to see if such a tool exists.
It's very
One of the advantages of purchasing from sites like this is that buyer and seller end up dealing together. It's something that has worked to Sue's advantage.
This particular company here is a small local company to Swindon, and Sue, haven't you used them yourself in the past?
I have, yes. And one of the events that we actually put on here, like a Storm event and that was one of the companies that actually had a really good price for paper for us. So I've been in contact with them and they've actually agreed now, and we've been able to actually buy at a price a very large amount of paper, but we don't have to store it at all on the school premises. We're just able to draw down as and when we need it.
But what about that shed? After Sue posted her request for a shed online, quotes started filtering through. As requests are posted anonymously, she wasn't then pestered by shed salesmen. And when she eventually decided on the specifics, she got a great deal.
So is this where the shed's going then, Sue?
Yes, it'll just go in this area here, right next to the new gardening area we've got for the children. So it just made it so much easier being able to put it on the school quote system, and it just done all the work for me. And I actually saved myself about £50 or £60, the difference in the 3 quotes, so it was really good.
Excellent.
That's a saving of around 10%. But there's another benefit.
I've been able to use my time in other areas, which has enabled me to apply for other grants, and we have a kitchen project that's going on at the moment where we're looking to extend our kitchen.
So alongside saving money, there are a host of advantages for busy bursars in buying collaboratively. But what about Sue? What can collaborative purchasing do for her school? Sue gave us a shopping list. We've used collaborative purchasing to get her some quotes. Some items we've taken to a buying consortium. Others we've posted on a collaborative purchasing website. Now it's time to see if we can save Sue money. Bundling together the IT and printer requirements, we've managed to provide a saving of around £1,600 a year. We obtained a 16% saving on folding exam desks, saving £391. A renegotiated washroom contract with Sue's current supplier saves Sue a whopping 38%. That's over £400 per year. And a stationery saving of 42% gives a saving of £1,000 per annum. And using collaborative purchasing to buy paper, Sue saves almost £300 a year. Which means on this small sample of Sue's yearly spend, collaborative purchasing saves her around £3,700 a year. What does she think of that?
£3,700 is quite a substantial saving overall, and although it's not a huge amount within the whole scheme of things, it's still £3,000 odd that we wouldn't have had otherwise that we can then spend in the classroom. I think the collaborative purchasing idea is most definitely the way to go forward, because I think that's the only way that you can achieve the greater economies of scale, which we can't get as a school on our own, and therefore that's how we can actually unlock those good cost savings.